All right, it says we are live. I don't know if we are or not. I hope this is going over to YouTube, but we'll give her a minute here. Get this up on YouTube. Yep, okay. Go over here. Go here. Go to YouTube. Go to my channel. Trying to get the YouTube chat up here. Okay. Keith Gregory, Jerry Bear. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm trying to get my side chat here in order. Live chat. Gregory, okay. Jerry Bear. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm trying to get my use that one. Oh, let's see. There's got to be a way to do this. Live chat messages available. Okay. I want to pop out. Okay. Drop that down. Back over here. Minimize this one. And get the YouTube. There we go. I think we got it. Hey, we're doing good. Just waiting for some warm weather. It's supposed to be up 46 today. Man, it's cold this morning. It's been cold up here. So much snow on the ground. I ain't even got to go out to the gravel pit and do any shooting or anything. And I'm out here in the cold garage. Other than that, I've got a link for StreamYard on both chats. If somebody wants to jump in there, all you got to do is click on that link and it'll bring you right in. We hope. That's what the plans are anyway. So Jerry Bear, you been driving up this way anywhere lately? But I got a video I got to work on. I got a couple new goodies in the mail Friday. I just opened them up this morning, did an unpacking. I won't tell you what it is. Let it be kind of a surprise. So let me see if I can take a couple people here and see if we can't get a couple more people on here with us. Okay. Let's try OTR. I know Dan's probably at church, so he probably won't get on here. I'm sure he's at church anyway. Do I have to deliver now? Right across the street from me. Well, if you're ever there between 8 and 3 on Mondays and Wednesdays, stop in, buy you a cup of coffee. Fridays I'm there from, except this coming week, I'm there from 5 to noon, so in the morning. But this coming Friday, we're going for our COVID shots Thursday morning, and I took Friday and Saturday off just in case I don't feel really well up to it. From what I understand, some of the little quirks about get flu symptoms for a day or so, and I didn't want to have to call in and I didn't feel well. But I don't know. I got reservations about taking the blame things, but I certainly don't want to get the blame stuff again because I got lucky last time. I got pneumonia, but it wasn't a real serious case, so I don't want. Of course, the wife got it too, so we actually got a little bit of immunity to it. But they say you can't have the shots till after 3 months, and it's been since October when we had it. So we shall see what we shall see. Yeah, hopefully we can get somebody else in here. But now we've had more snow this winter than we had last year. Our first year up here, it definitely got some snow. There ain't no doubt about that. We've had last year we had the driveway plowed out twice. This year we've had it done 4 times. How's everything going with you, Keith? Can't get some other guys in here. It might be a pretty short chat today. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I just hadn't done one of these in a while, so I thought, well, you know what? We'll just go out there and throw one together and see what happens. I'll be doing that. I don't want to lose nothing. Don't want a lot of dead air here. I know Dan's been putting out some. Be glad when he can make it up here. Get some. He's been putting off some nice videos of some new guns that's come out. Walter PDP, and the Taurus TX competition model. Boy, them looks like a couple nice firearms. I can't wait to get my hands on. So you been out to the range, Jerry Bear? No, the Shell station. Just down the road there. It ain't directly across the street from it, but it ain't very far. The link's out there, Jerry Bear, if you want to jump in here. All you gotta do is click on it and I'll get you in here with me. Now I just picked me up another vehicle because my old Ford Expedition died on me, so I picked up a 2004 Chevy Blazer, or not Blazer, but Tahoe. Got to do a little front end work on it, but runs pretty good. But the old Expedition finally found a great graveyard in the sky. I mean, it's got a lot of miles on it before what I want it for, running up here and around. And gets me to point A to point B, you know. See if we got anybody else over on the other chat. Yep, that's it. The old Shell station. I've been there almost 2 years now. Can't believe that. I'll do that. Just bring that right there. Ain't been a lot going on around here. Of course, ain't a whole lot that goes on around here anyway. You know what I'm talking about, Jerry Bear. They ain't a very big town. Hey, Rick, how you doing, man? There's a link posted on the side chat if you want to jump in here with me for a few minutes. If you got anything to do. I never had you on one of my chats. I'd like to have you on here. I got links posted on the YouTube chat and StreamYard chat. I don't think this thing don't give you quite the information that the YouTube chat channel used to give you, how many's viewing or whatnot. Well, there's very many out there, just the 3 of you. Been putting out some good stuff there, Rick. You and X-Ring. Of course, you're there in South Carolina. You ain't got to worry about the weather like we do. That's cool. Next time. Glad you jumped in there to say hi anyway. I text TR. I don't know if he'll slide in here or not. Maybe, I don't know if he's working there or not. See if we can text somebody else. See who we got here. Text the old crazy Scotsman. See if he wants to jump in here. I know he works nighttime, so he might be in bed. He might be in bed. Send one out to Rich 1911. I got the only three guys I got phone numbers for. Wish I had one for Harley over at Riders Range to invite him. Maybe he'll see it in his YouTube feed or something and be able to join in there. Well, what does everybody think about President Biden? You think he's going to fulfill his term, or is Kamala going to take over? If I was a betting man, I bet he don't make 4 years. The Democrats will boot him out and get Kamala in there. Yeah, that's the only thing about. Well, let's see. Now this one's only showing 2. I guess it does have a spot in here for. Saying we got pretty good Wi-Fi out here because I don't have a direct link up, so it's Wi-Fi, so don't seem to be buffering or anything that I can tell. I don't know a whole lot about this StreamYard. I've used it, but I've never really got into it, and excuse me, dabbled around with it. Keith or Jerry Bear, if either one of you got the vaccine or thinking about it. I gave a lot of thought on it. I don't know. We're going to do it. Just see what happens. Let's see. There you go, Jerry Bear. How you doing?
What's up, Don?
You, man, you.
How you been, man?
Cold, man, cold.
Yeah, it's been kind of brutal for us up here.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm a little further south, but I'm up that way twice a week. So I delivered the whole east side of the state all the way up to Sheboygan, just under the bridge, and then I drop back down to Gaylord, stay the night there, and then I go up to Harbor Springs, Petoskey, Boeing City, deliver that way, and then come back down 75 and finish my route.
Oh, cool. Good morning, Howell. Glad to see you out there, bud. Bim, there's a link in the chat if you want to jump in here. I need some bodies in here. It'll be a short chat. Matter of fact, I'll post it again. It's a live post for anybody that wants to jump in here.
Let's see if we can fix this lighting of mine here.
Yeah, I'm out here in the garage. My lighting ain't real good either, but
yeah, it's a little
right. We can see each other.
Cool.
You've been out doing any shooting or anything?
So you were asking me if I'd been to the range lately. I haven't been to the range since mid to late December. It's just been you know, busy at work, just crazy. And then I just been really pounding out, doing a lot of reloading.
I haven't done any reloading because kind of sitting on my primers till I can refinish some of them. I mean, I've still got plenty of primers, but
Right.
I've got some loaded up in there. I ain't really worried about it right now.
Well,
definitely.
So you're familiar with Jay's Sporting Goods?
Yeah, they're in Gaylord.
Or
Claire, either one.
Claire, right? All right. So I stop in there as often as I can, you know, because for me they're one of the bigger reloading supply places here in Michigan. You know, since I'm up there, I stop in. So I went in there on Thursday, and Don, there is nothing on the shelves in there. I mean, it is just decimated. So they had some ammo on the shelves, and I was quite shocked. The prices were fairly decent. They had 22 100 box of the CCI's long rifle. I think those were $10. They had the bricks of 800 of the Federal 22 long rifle for $64. They had 9mm. They had 5.56. Numerous hunting calibers. But what was shocking is they had primers. So the last time they had primers, they were only selling 500 at a time.
Yeah.
Well, now they are selling bricks.
No kidding.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They doubled in price.
Yeah, that's even double in the price, Jerry Bear. I mean, I used to pay $30, $35 compared to what they want on Gun Broker.
Oh, I know.
If you went into Gun Broker, $400 a brick.
I know, which is just absurd. Well,
oh yeah, I'm not paying that.
I needed large rifle primers. So they had those. So I picked up a brick of those. And then I picked up a brick of small rifle Magnum primers. And I used those for my 6.5 Grindle and my 6mm arc. My buddy of mine that lives up there, he gets a military law enforcement discount. So he was with me, and I ended up getting, $12 off each one of those boxes. So they wanted $79.99 for a brick. And, as painful as that was, even with the discount of $12 off, man, is that a hard pill to swallow.
I know. I wish I knew you needed some. I think I got some large rifle primers, not very many, but I got a few. I don't use them anymore. And yeah, I'll have to double check and let you know. And you can stop in one day and pick them up. But yeah, I called them here. Oh, I don't know. God, it's been it was before winter. And they had them they had primers, but it was 500. And I thought, to drive all the way to Gaylord from here for 500 primers, it just wasn't worth it. And it might have been worth it now that the price has gone up like they have.
Right. Well, the shocking thing was when I asked how many I could buy, he goes, you can buy a brick of each. And I'm like, each what? And he goes, you can buy a brick of large, a brick of small rifle primers, and a brick of small and large pistol primers. Well, I got plenty of pistol primers, so I wasn't worried about that. The only thing they didn't have, and I've got plenty of anyway, is just the regular small rifle primers.
Right.
They were totally out of those. But I was shocked that they were selling it by the brick. So they weren't out that I could see because they were pulling from behind the counter. But the 25 minutes I was sitting there and we were looking around, every person that came to that counter got primers. And there had to have been, I'm guessing 30 people in the 25 minutes. So they must have picked up a good batch. They had they had Federal primers, they had CCI primers, they also had Winchester primers. So I was quite impressed that they even had them.
Huh.
You know, considering
go ahead.
Considering what's going on in the world today for
Yeah.
primers, you know, I can't find them anywhere down here.
No, I've been like if I go to Saginaw to Sam's or something, I always stop in at Cabela's, and they don't never. Not the days I have them. They said they haven't been getting them, so I don't know.
Right. That's the same way
you know,
with the Cabela's.
I'm not going to drive around searching for them. You know, it's not.
Exactly.
I don't need them that bad. I mean, I'm sitting on about 1,800 primers, small pistol primers, and probably a couple thousand, maybe 2,500 of large pistol, and I well over 1,000 of the small rifle. But I use the CCI what is it, 450, the Magnum primer.
Yeah, yeah.
I use them in my AR just because they're a little bit harder case in case to eliminate any kind of slam fire or something.
Right, right. Yeah. Fun
with guns. Glad you're out there. There's a link there if you want to join in. But yeah, I'm not. I scan it through Gun Broker. Of course, they got like $200 bid. But if you actually want to, but the reserve not met, you actually go in there and want to buy them. They got like $300 to $400 a brick. I said, you got to be kidding me.
I know, it's ridiculous. And what's even more ridiculous is that somebody's going to actually pay that price.
No, not me.
I'm not. There ain't no. Sorry. Trust me, I didn't want to pay what I paid on Thursday afternoon for what I bought.
Right.
But I needed them. So
I was totally out. I hate to say it, I'd pay $80 a brick for it, but yeah, I'm not to that point yet.
Gotcha.
And like I said, I've got so many loaded up in there already. It ain't like I've got to sit here load and bench and load some. So
right. And you know, for me, I've got plenty of, you know, I got plenty of ammo on hand. You know, I just started reloading, Don, probably about 16, 18 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So when I decided to start reloading, I went all in. You know, when I made that decision, it was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm just going to go all in. And I got everything I needed. So, you know, I run a single stage Hornet A press. Okay. I make one bullet at a time. But for me, because I'm still relatively green or new at it, I wanted to understand every aspect of the reloading process. I didn't want to get ahead of myself or do anything crazy or stupid.
Right.
You know, and me, the biggest reason why I wanted to get into reloading, I have one bolt action rifle, and that's my 6.5 by 55 Swedish Sporterized Mauser that I have.
Right.
That's why I wanted to get into reloading. My Swedish Sporterized Mauser that I have. Right. For that particular caliber. But now I'm sitting on. Let's see. I'm reloading now for every caliber I have.
Right.
So, and it's well
there's nothing wrong with a single. I used an RCBS, my RCBS rock checker. I used it I've been reloading for 44, 45 years now. And up till the last 3 years when I got the Hornet A Progressive, I always used them one at a time. The Progressive makes it a lot easier, but.
Right. I seen that. I seen that press you were using. What were you loading? I think it was 45 ACP a couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
That or 9mm. That's the only two that I load on it. So.
And I was just like, wow, check out that. I mean, you could tell how old that press was, but it was working like it was, you know.
Oh, that was a 10mm. I haven't set it up for the Progressive yet because I'd have to get it. I don't even have a 10mm to tell you the truth.
Gotcha.
So I just loaded up 100 rounds. Like if Dan brings one up, like he did that Ronin, I have my own ammunition where I don't have to shoot his up.
Gotcha.
scarce his ammo, because I don't want him to have to fund my bad habit.
Hey, there's
But,
the Scotsman.
Morning, guys.
What's
hey, Jason,
happening?
how you doing, bud?
Doing all right. How's it going?
It's going, man. I wasn't sure you was up yet. I thought, I didn't even think, I don't even remember having your phone number. And I was just going through to see who I could text real quick. I said, well, I know he's got his chat tonight, but he might be up.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be up for a little while still.
How's everything
Yeah,
in Ohio?
I never get to watch your guys' Sunday evening chat, which bums me out because I'm in bed by 5:30 in the evening because my day starts at 3 a.m.
Ah, there you go.
Well, I normally watch all my videos in the morning. I get up at dark 30. I go to bed around 9 or 10. I'm up between 1 and 3 every morning. So that's when I usually watch my videos because there ain't nothing else on TV other than news. You can only take so much of that.
Yeah.
And I'll watch, like Scotsman's in the morning. That one night here, I don't know, what was it, a month or two ago, Scotsman, you were still on, and I jumped in for a few minutes.
Yep.
So I know I watched Uncle Jim's chat this morning. So you got some green grass down there, Scotsman? I assume you started that fire Friday there. I seen some green grass, or some grass anyway.
Yeah, we've had rain the last couple of days, which I'm okay with. I'd rather have rain than snow. So it's melted most of the snow.
You know what? I got a girl call me at 5 o'clock yesterday morning. She had a sick baby, so I had to go and open the store. I opened this garage door up, and honest to God, it was a blizzard. I tried to have my bright lights on to watch for deer. I couldn't do it because it was snowing so hard. I mean, it snowed for about 2 or 3 hours. We got a little coating, but I thought, good grief, what's this? And then it warmed up to 45. Of course, melted it off the roads. But yeah, there ain't no grass around here, not yet anyway. Maybe today because they're calling for rain and thunderstorms possible this afternoon. So.
Yeah, we got some rain Thursday night, and that helped clear up a lot of it. And then the last couple of days, it's been consistently raining, which again, I'm all right with that too. It's clears up a lot of it.
I had to go every Sunday morning. I usually go to the dump and take our trash. Well, I always clean the yard up twice a week. Where the dog goes, and I was out there trying to clean up her mess, and it was all embedded. I got what I could, it's embedded in ice. I'm trying to dig that stuff out. I said I'll have to worry about that later.
That's funny.
But yes.
Yeah, Thursday night when I went to work, it was all ice. It looked like snow, but it was all ice.
Well, that's the way it was this morning when I was trying to. It thawed out just enough yesterday, and then last night it got cold again, and it just froze it right in there.
Jason, where are you at?
I'm in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, okay.
You up around Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of Cleveland, in between Cleveland and PA.
Gotcha. Yeah, I used to deliver there over to Ashtabula.
Yeah, Ashtabula is not that far from me.
Cool.
Yeah, when I was before I retired, and I used to have a client that I had to go over to their plant over in Cleveland. A couple times a year I had to go over. One night was an emergency. They called me at 3 o'clock in the morning. They said, you got to be at Cleveland at 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I still got to make a trip out to see Don and BEM Freedom here soon. Got to make a trip out there at some point.
Yeah, hopefully this summer some of this COVID bull crap will die down some and whatnot. Things will start freeing up a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, let's hope so. You know how our governor is up here.
Oh yeah,
whack job.
Got mask mandate on for 2 years if she can.
Yeah.
Which ain't nobody abides by it. I mean, I do just because where I work, we're supposed to.
I have to because of my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but there's one girl there at work that she's got a button. I have a health issue. I can't wear a mask. They made her wear it there at the store.
Really?
So people would know that she can't wear a mask. Last week, her and another girl was talking. Neither one of them had a mask on. One of our customers, woman come in, looked around. She's, you guys ain't wearing masks. She turned around, walked out the door, which that's her prerogative, you know.
Yep. Yep.
You know, somebody wants to wear them, that's up to them. Like I said, I do. And if I go to Walmart or something, me and my wife do, but it ain't because I want to, believe me.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues lately. You know, it's there for a while. People would stare at me and give me all kinds of crap, but I haven't had any problems for a long time. I don't do it. I won't do it. I'm not. You know, even in my job, it's supposed to be required, but I've managed to get away with it this long.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever, you know, it's teach his own to me. You know, if you feel safer with it, okay. If you don't, I don't care, you know.
And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be a mandate. It should be if you want to. It's, you know, free will, the way it should be.
It's funny when this all started out last year. I took the first 6 weeks off. You know, when it first really broke out, because you know, at my age and health problems and stuff, I thought, you know, it might be best. Well, when I come back, this was in, let's see, March, April, May. There was 56 total cases up here in my county.
Right.
I thought, okay, you know, it's on a downslide. Well, now there's over almost 1,300 up here. and it is what it is. And of course, when it first broke out, they had a posting on the door, mask required, and they told us to, you know, tell people to put a mask on. Well, if they say they've got a health reason, you drop it. You can't go into detail about anything. And you'd be surprised at the young people that come in. I would say, you know, you're supposed to have a mask on. Well, I got a health problem. Well, if our young people are that bad of shape right now with health problems that they can't wear a mask, I mean, God help us. Because almost all the young people don't wear them. The older folks are pretty good about it. Not all of them, but I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had it once, and I don't want that crap again. I got lucky the last time. All I got was a pretty good case of pneumonia out of it. But next time I might not be so lucky, you know?
Right. Exactly. It's, yeah, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, there in the beginning, you know, I didn't think it was what they made it out to be, and I technically still don't, but it is there. It's out there. You know,
it's out there.
now, you know, they just did that thing in the White House with Biden and frickin' his silly vice president where, you know, they did the lighting of the 500 or, you know, the candle thing. And, you know, I just find it very hard to believe that those numbers are accurate.
They're not accurate.
But no, the problem with the numbers is simply this. If a hospital reports it, they get paid.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. So, and I don't know if you guys know how much it is, but literally every time they report a case, just a case, doesn't have to be a death, it's 10 grand.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that much. I thought it was around 6 grand, but wow, 10 grand.
No, 10 grand a case.
Wow.
So how many hospitals out there struggling and dying for money do you think are going to go, hey, COVID?
Yep. Yeah. That's pretty freaking sad.
Well, they even admitted that they had heart attack patients that died of basically a heart attack, but if they had COVID, they blamed it on the COVID. So I don't know. It's
unbelievable.
One thing about it, you don't hear of a big flu epidemic this year,
right?
You don't hear of anybody.
That's the thing, like, so I don't know if you guys saw or not, and I pay attention to this because England and Scotland are right next to each other, and unfortunately, the whole government kind of falls under each other. But England reported 0 cases of the flu last year. 0.
Really?
We even came on the news and said the flu was pretty much gone all last year. No one had flu.
Yeah, Fun with Guns just put on there, according to Johns Hopkins University, on average, there's 45,000 cases of flu each year. This past year, there was only 925.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Same thing, across the pond, they get paid every time. It's all about the money. Follow the money.
Yeah. Well, now it makes me wonder, just seeing that statistic, 45,000 cases of flu each year, and only 925 reported now. Sounds really that's just absurd.
Well, think about this too, and I've been seeing this stuff lately as well. This whole 1.9 trillion bill they're trying to push through.
Oh, that's garbage.
Not even 10%. Not even 10% of that goes to helping with COVID relief.
Right.
850
it's all about putting money in their pockets.
I think.
It's all about putting money in their pockets and putting money in all the big businesses.
Oh, I seen that, and I got a hold of. It's funny. I got a Twitter account that I just basically watch the politics on it. And yesterday, I guess it was, because I text Dan Kildee. He's my representative, because I know he voted for it, because there was only 2 Democrats that voted against it. And I seen what their names was, so I texted him and or tweeted him, and I forget how I put it. Basically that I hope he got voted out next time I do I definitely wasn't going to vote for him, but I got a thing on Twitter this morning that says it was inappropriate to wish something like that on somebody. It's against our policy. So I deleted it and I redid it did it again. What a jerk.
Yeah, I don't do Twitter. I don't do any. I can't. I don't do Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do Instagram. I don't do any of that. I just recently started doing Patriot Book, and other than YouTube and some of the other video platforms like Full 30, Gunstreamer, BitChute. A couple others. That's all I do, because I just can't. I can't stand watching the news on TV, and I can't stand listening to all the BS and the stupidity that goes on all these other websites. It just drives me crazy.
It can get pretty crazy out there. I mean, I'm on Instagram, and that's pretty much the only other thing I'm on, other than the Reloaders Network and stuff. But it's like I posted something the other day about how Biden is an illegitimate president, and of course I triggered a little snowflake, which is fine. I don't care. But she come at me on the level of, well, you're not even from this country. And I fired right back at her. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, you don't know nothing about me. And just so you know, I am actually a citizen, so thank you very much. Kiss my ass.
Right, exactly. Good for you.
Oh, I was like, I did it the right freaking way, so yeah, excuse you.
I download to Reloaders Network, and I was on Parler until all that bullcrap come down, and I just dropped that. And like I said, I use Twitter, just follow the politics of it, basically, some of the people. And I got 2 Facebooks. I got my home Facebook that I use for just personal, family, whatnot. And then I got one for the channel that I'll go in and check messages or something. But as far as posting on it, very seldom do I post on it. I could probably do away with it. It would.
And that's one reason I have Instagram, is so other people can reach out and message me if they want to. That I don't give my number to everybody. So if you guys want to reach out, that's another way you can reach out.
Gotcha.
I was surprised. I didn't realize I had your phone number when I was going through looking for somebody to join the chat. I said, well, dang, I got Jason's number on here.
Yeah, I think, what was that, last year, I think it was, or the year before I gave it to you? I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, it might have been when I really got rid of my Thursday night chats, because I ain't done any since then, other than all 3 or 4 like on a spur of the moment type chat, like today.
Yeah, I think actually you're right. I think it was right around that time. Yeah.
So that's been a couple, 2 or 3 years then.
Yep.
Yeah, I was surprised I still had it. Or I was surprised I had it, period. Are you and Daniel got any planning on shooting anymore here coming up?
Yeah, hopefully we can get together either this week or possibly next week. Hopefully this week. The weather's improving a little bit. I don't know how your gas prices are there, but ours have gone up probably almost 60, 65 cents, 70 cents in the last couple weeks.
We're at 69 here in my area.
Yeah, we're right at 276 was the last time I looked.
Well, it's gone up almost $1 since Biden's come into office. So,
yep.
It
killed
was
the top line and killed the other avenues for us to get it. So, yep.
It was $1.79 right there a couple of weeks after the inauguration, and then he started fricking killing them fricking pipelines, and granted the weather situation down there in Texas and across the Midwest there didn't help matters either, but
Well, but then him shutting down the oil from New Mexico and Texas, and I forget what other state. There was like 2 other states shutting that down too. That just killed it.
Right. So yeah, we saw an instant hike, and we got a refinery right down the road from us. So, but that it just, I don't know, man. They're the policies that they want to try to implement are just the most absurd thing.
Well,
if they didn't learn anything, from what happened in Texas this past couple weeks ago about their Green New Deal, Lord help us.
But it's not about that.
Yeah, God help us for sure, man. We're
in a mess. That though. It's the agenda. It's all about putting them in more power and taking away the power from the people.
Yeah. Well, them poor people in Texas, living off an electric system or electrical system that runs off of wind farms. It's all good in theory, but look what happened. It's just absurd. I would be, they don't use a whole lot of heat down that way. I get it, but man, something's got to change for if I lived there, I wouldn't put up with that bullshit. There's just no way.
I see where one woman filed a lawsuit against the power company. She got a bill for $9,000.
Damn.
How in the world are you going to pay a $9,000 electric bill?
Yeah, and it ain't happening in my world.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just out here alone, the last month, we've had a lot of freezing temperatures and well below freezing temperatures. And the guy I rent from was telling me what his wife racked up in the last month, and I couldn't believe it. So my electric bill last month was $25. Her electric bill was $875.
Damn.
For a month.
Damn. Yeah,
I don't know what ours is. We're on that budget thing, so the wife takes care of all that. We pay the same amount every month, and I don't know what it is, but
I think my last electric bill was $62.
Well, it's like in this cold weather. We've had our thermostat set on 69 all winter. If the house gets a little chilly, I wear a sweater around the house.
Exactly.
And that's it. And that's what he was trying. That's what he was trying to explain to her. He's like, he doesn't keep the heat that high. He keeps the heat set, a medium level. So I keep my heat right at 60, and then if I get cold, I'll just throw extra layers on.
All the time I change it is when I go in the shower. I got a little electric heater in there. I put that on because I don't want to get out of a hot shower into a cold bathroom. I'm sorry. I start that electric heater up, and it's nice and toasty when I get out of that shower.
Let's see. Firearms 101 says hello.
Hey, Mario's on there too.
Yeah.
I'm bad about not following the side chat once I get guys in here.
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot of side chat, but
No, not really. What I'm seeing here.
heck, I was actually surprised, Don, when you popped on. I clicked on the link and I'm like, oh, he's going live. Well, let's see what Don's got going on today.
I just get bored sitting out here in the garage. Got the garage door open, sun shining. I mean, it's cold out here, but it ain't that bad.
Right.
It's
nice it's nice when you're in the sun, you know,
Yeah.
as long as the wind ain't blowing.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's coming. I think this week we're going to be in the mid 30s all week, but next week they're saying mid to high 40s after this coming week. So
nice.
That'll be good. Start getting in the 40s.
We're supposed to hit a high of 50 something today. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, that's what they were talking. 50, 54, 55 here in Southeast Michigan. So I'll believe it when I see it because it's been this morning. It's been raining, so we'll see.
yeah, it was raining all night here too, and still I think it's dribbling out there now. It's not like coming down heavy or nothing, but
yesterday wasn't too bad. I was going to go to the range yesterday, but I wanted to finish up on my last batch of 1,500 cases of resizing my 5.56 cases out of 6. Now I got 6,000 that I got to start trimming and chamfering and deburring so I have that ready for reloading.
Randy's out there, and he makes a good point too. I forgot about that. There was one guy in Texas. They took it directly out of his retirement, but he had a bill for $17,000.
Wow, I'm just reading that. Holy smokes!
Yeah, he had it set up where it was automatic taken out of his account, and because they had it set up that way, they went to his other account, which is a retirement account, and just yanked it right from there.
Yeah, and just like Randy was saying, that's why I don't do auto bill paying. Same here. You're not going to take the bill. I'll pay you when it's due, just like I've always done.
The only thing I have on auto pay is my insurance. That's it.
Okay. That yes. Same with me and the wife. Our car insurance is auto deducted.
Everything else, you'll get it when I pay you.
Yep.
Yeah. Our utility bills, like I said, but it's on a monthly budget. The wife pays it. It ain't automatically taken out or anything. But speaking of that, I was seeing somebody. I think it was the lieutenant governor of Texas was talking about that very thing, or the woman for 9,000. I can't. But and Randy, you can vouch for this. That some of the people in Texas, they had the opportunity to like be a budget type thing, or it's like your loans where you got a variable loan depending on what the interest does for your house payment, or a fixed bill. And that's where he said some of the people are messed up. They took that, of course, like your house payment, like the housing crisis that we had a few years ago. People all had these variable interest rates, and that's why they ended up losing their houses and stuff.
Well, that was the problem with that one guy with 17,000. He had it on a variable rate instead of a fixed rate.
Yeah. I think it was Lieutenant Governor was talking on Fox the other day. They was asking him, and he said that's where a lot of people actually made a mistake. Instead of getting on a fixed budget, they went with that variable because, okay, it starts out low, but if you get a tweak in something like that, then
yep.
Well, yeah, that's a moneymaker right there. Oh, look, power shortage. Here we go. Hike it up.
When we bought our house a couple years ago, we got a flat rate. We could have went to variable rate for a lower payment. I said, oh, hey, no. I want to know what I'm paying every month.
Exactly. You know, unless you're making millions and millions of dollars a year, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, what, you know, at that point, if you're that kind of person that has that kind of money, you're buying it outright, you know.
Yeah.
Because even if I was a billionaire, I still wouldn't have anything on auto pay.
No, exactly. Totally, I totally agree. It's I don't want to say it's foolish, but it's foolish, and you know, you eventually you're gonna get taken advantage of.
It'll get you in trouble. You know, back in the day, it's been a long, long time now. But when I first came out here, I had some things on auto pay, and it ended up screwing me over. And never again have I ever done it since.
Gotcha. Yeah, Comcast, our cable provider here in Southeast Michigan. You know, they keep sending me this email. You know, if you put yourself on auto pay, you'll save 10% on your bill. And it's like, no, thanks. I'll pay it when it's the due date. You know, I always pay my bills a week ahead of time anyway. But you know, I'm in charge of paying my bills, not you, not the, you know. I pay it when it needs to be paid.
Well, see, the other thing with auto pay too is you pay the minimum amount required.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, but I never pay the minimum.
Nope.
I always pay something above the minimum.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it be $20 or what,
Yep.
I'm gonna pay something above the minimum.
Yep. Always better to be ahead and have a little credit on your account than it is to be behind at any point in time.
It's like one of my credit cards last month. I couldn't get it into the account. And no matter what I tried, well, then they sent an email a couple of days later that something was wrong with their system. They was correcting it. Then I got an email that said I don't have to make a payment this month due to the problem, just as a courtesy to everybody. But the interest would still occur on the day. Well, I went ahead and made my regular payment plus some. You know, I ain't gonna get tied into that crap. So I told my wife, I said, "Yeah, it sounds good to have an extra so much a month, but this month, but nah."
Yeah, that's what they get you is that interest, man. Every time.
Yep.
That's why I said everything I pay, I always pay more than I'm supposed to. It doesn't matter if it's my truck payment,
Yep.
if it's my credit cards, whatever it is, I always pay more.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to do things, that's for sure. But I was going to fall into that trap. I said, "Oh no." Oh, Texas Outlaw. Glad to see you, Mike. Another one jumped in there. I seen Howell Osborne up there earlier too. I forgot to mention him. You guys like good country kind of bluegrass type music. Howell, not Howard. Howell. Got some good stuff in there. Howell Osborne. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see who's all in here or who was in here. Is your six covered? Rick, he stopped by, say hello.
Yeah.
Keith Gregory, Hal Osborne, BM Freedom, Fun with Guns, Mario Mosen, Randy Blackburn, Firearms 101, the Texas Outlaw, and that's it. Plus us three.
Jordan and his wife and son come up. Oh, I don't know, sometime latter part of the summer there last year. We had a good time shooting. They come up and brought his wife with him. She's quite a character. Nice lady.
Awesome. Speaking of which, so one of these weekends when things get warm, I'd like to head up that way and check out where you shoot there at the pit.
Sure, anytime. I'm always up for going up.
Let's make a whole gathering out of it. Let's get you, me, and Jordan all together. And let's make it happen, man.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm up for it. That'd be great. Don, how is that a working?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a gravel pit.
Yeah, one time when did I go out there? It was back last fall. I went out there and the tractor was in there. And I would come back, I would left and come back later, and I see the truck down there, and he was loading his truck. He started on his way out. I said, "Is it okay if we shoot down here?" He said, "Yeah, just don't shoot in our direction," which some of the idiots that go out there, it's not a very good time. You know, that's the sad part about the weekends. That's when most of the people go out there. Of course, there's nothing going on the weekends. And he was actually running the dozer, loading the truck up, and then he took the truck wherever he had to go and just left the dozer there.
Gotcha.
But there's a spot up on top that I like to go to for like pistols. And hopefully they didn't screw up the trail, the road too bad last summer because they was doing some work up there, you know, smoothing it out and stuff. So, but it's pretty muddy up there. And I don't know. We'll have to wait and see once this all clears up, see what's. But during the week, it's a hit and miss because there's been a couple of times I've driven over there and they've been working, but I just turned around and left. And then that day I asked him, as long as I wasn't shooting towards them and whatnot, he didn't have a problem with it, you know.
Yeah, and most places are like that. If it's something like that, they're usually pretty good about stuff. Fun with Guns is asking if you guys are dry firing more with the whole shortage thing. For me personally, not necessarily dry firing more, working drills more. You know, not as many rounds in the magazine. I mean, I make my own ammo and stuff. I don't have a problem with a shortage per se, but I'm still kind of limiting myself just because it's good practice to do so.
Right.
So I'm putting less rounds in the magazine, doing more mag changes, doing more types of drills and stuff like that. What about you guys?
Well, here's the last couple of weeks. I think a couple of weeks ago, I put out a video on the 3D dummy rounds that I picked up. And I was doing some dry firing before that, but now I'm doing more, not so much the dry fire to get the trigger down, but I put a red dot on my scope, a red dot on my Glock, and CZ. I'm working with some red dots, trying to get the feel of getting it up and getting that red dot on target, you know, quick, stuff like that. I've been doing quite a bit of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I dry fire practice throughout the week. You know, when I'm at the house, I practice mag changing. You know, the more you do something, the better you're gonna be at it. You know, and to keep yourself familiar and relevant or not relevant, on top of things, it's just practice. Whether I'm actually pulling the trigger on a live round or whether I'm using dummy rounds or just dry firing. Yeah, so I'm all the time trying to practice. You know.
Yep. Yeah, one of the big things is practicing your draw. Always practice your draw because, especially if you carry inside the waistband concealed carry.
Yep, and that's me.
You know, constantly having to lift that shirt or jacket or, you know, in this weather, it's a lot. I mean, you're wearing a lot heavier, thicker clothing and stuff like that. So
exactly.
You got to practice even more with that because there's a lot more to do with it.
Yep.
You know, clearing that and making sure you're clear of everything before that firearm comes out. That's a huge thing.
Yeah. And I carry, you know, I just don't have one EDC. I have multiples. So on any given day, I could be carrying something different on any given day. So practicing, like you're saying, drawing with the heavy coat on, extra layers, yeah. That's a big thing for me.
I gotta say, I'm guilty of not really practicing my reloads. Drawing I do, but I don't practice reloads as much as I should, and I first one to admit that. But everything else, I'm like you. Every gun I got's potential carry gun. Now, right now, the Glock and the CZ's not, because I got red dots on them and the holsters ain't altered for them right now. But
gotcha.
I've been wanting to do that where I could take the red dots off of it, see how it is, because I'm not going to plan on leaving them on those two guns. But I just wanted to get the feel of using the red dot in that kind of a lifting it up, getting on that dot and the target at pretty close at the same time. I've been, like Pop's Quest, Rob, and Humble Marksman. They both do a lot with red dots, and they said you're basically looking at the target. You want the gun to come up while you're looking at the target and the red dot to find the target, not really searching for the red dot. So that's pretty much what I've been trying to do, is looking at a spot on the wall and getting that red dot up onto that spot,
Right.
And then dry fire, of course.
Yeah, the biggest thing with red dots, if you're going to start carrying like a red dot, is don't rely on it. Know how to shoot your iron sights, because if you draw and that thing dies on you, you have to be able to shoot your backup sights.
Yeah.
Well, the red dot I just put on the Glock is ADE Delta, which is a budget red dot.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to spend $300 for a Holosun, which is what I would get, that or the Swamp Fire, because they have the shake awake. The minute you pick that gun up, that red dot comes on.
Right.
Where this one, you got, and if you're carrying it for defense, you better remember to turn that red dot on before you leave, So
right.
that's why.
And then having a red dot on your pistol, you got to make sure, that you've got the correct height sights that you can actually, there's some, guys that are putting red dots on their pistols and don't have, a rear sight because it sits too low, or they haven't changed them out to co-witness with the dots. That's my biggest thing right now. I've been considering it, but I don't have any of my pistols aren't set up for it. So that means I'll have to buy a pistol, which is no big deal if that's the way I decide to go. But I want to make sure that if the red dot's not there, that I still have the iron sights that I can look through that red dot and still, use the gun like it's intended without it.
And that's one of the biggest things as a trainer over the years I've seen, is people rely on the red dot, forget about their iron sights, and then when the red dot fails, they got nothing.
Right. And yeah, that's I don't want to run into that situation. I may, I'm up, coming up in age where, my eyesight's not like it used to be, but, I still hold those fundamentals with them iron sights. And for me, whether it's a pistol or a rifle, iron sights to me are essential. So every build that I do on all of my AR platforms have iron sights on them, whether that be 45 degree or, standard irons, laying underneath my optics.
Yeah,
well, I know. Go ahead, Scott. Finish your thought.
Go ahead.
On my Glock, I had to the plate I've got the scope, the red dot mounted on, actually is in the rear slot, so there's no rear sight on that gun. That's why I say it's just basically for tinkering around with.
Gotcha.
If I can see the red dot. Of course, it's setting up higher than the bore. Of course, I got it bore sighted as close as I can. But if I just forget the red dot and just drop my eye a little bit, I can actually see the front sight. So I want to practice with that a little bit.
See, and that's the thing. Even if you take the rear sight off, you can still function with just the front sight if something happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's, I made a video a few years back for Blue 823. I wish he was still around. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, but front sight only is a huge thing. A lot of people just don't understand how that works. And
well, I do that all the time, Scotsman. I have actually taken like a block of wood and a black electrical tape and blocked my rear sight and just practice with that front sight.
Yeah.
But as I get older, I'm 71 now, and my eyes are just going to pot to try to line 3 points up.
Right.
As you can tell by some of my shooting videos.
Now, hell, you're still ringing that steel, Don. So
you're still doing good, man.
Too, but
and unlike a lot of people, you're still out there and trying. That's the biggest thing. You're still out there and doing what you do.
Exactly.
Well, I practice a lot of point shooting too, because sometimes, in a defensive situation, are you really going to have time to get those sights where they belong?
Well, and that's the thing. Unless you're used to being in a situation, sorry, excuse me, where your heart rate's elevated, your mind's going a million miles an hour. Are you really going to be able to get that sight exactly lined up the way you want it? No, that's not going to happen.
Nope.
And one of the things that I do when I'm teaching people, for example, is I try to elevate your heart. I try to get your mind going somewhere else. So you get in that kind of mindset and understand it at some point through the training. And it's key to making sure you can see the difference. It's not about making sure you can shoot when you have that going on. It's about getting you to see the difference between standing in one spot and just pulling the trigger versus standing in one spot or moving and you're elevated and your blood's going, everything's flowing through you. And then, oh my God, I can't hit the target.
Yep.
I can't get too excited. My whole life, you better have an EMT handy. Yeah. I got to go for the whole court. Dr. Thursday. I got to go a week from Tuesday. Got to go have an echocardiogram. Then I got to see the cardiologist for stress test and all that crap. Yeah.
It's hell getting old, Don.
Yeah, I know it is.
But hey, I'm no spring chicken anymore either. Granted, you got a few years on me, but it doesn't matter whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60, if you're not out there taking care of yourself and trying to keep yourself active, eating
Well,
healthy.
that's why I work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the house, because otherwise I'd be sitting there in front of the idiot box or on the YouTube or some bull crap.
Yeah, well, retirement. I don't think I'll ever retire. So through the COVID thing, the company's freight that I pull for, they shut down for 6 weeks. They're in at the end of March of last year, so they were down for 6 weeks. And I told the wife, I'm like, you know what? I don't see myself ever retiring, because granted, I couldn't do none of us could really do anything through that 6 weeks, through that time anyway, because we were so locked down here in Michigan. But it was just like, oh my God, I'd go stir crazy.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'll probably never ever retire. I've been working since I was 12.
Yeah.
And I literally, in that entire time, other than vacations, I've been out of work for 2 weeks. That entire time, and I went bat crazy. It was nuts. I just don't ever see me being out of work, dude. One way or another, I'm always gonna have some kind of job.
Yeah.
Well, when I retired in 2008, I was making it pretty good, because it's just me and the dog, and I could go to range or do what I wanted to do, blah blah blah. Then the wife retired, and 24/7 with a wife, I don't make it real happy, Now, granted, retirement, it's not at all it's cracked up to be, unless you really got the money to do what you want to do. If you want to travel, if you want to do this, that. That's why I got the part-time job, just to help feed some of my little habit here. That's what it's used for, basically. It ain't used for bills or anything. It's just, if I want a gun, I get a gun. If I want reloading stuff, I get reloading stuff. Of course, I get a little bit of stockpile of money for reloading stuff. I can't buy it, but
yeah, that's the thing right now. Like, a lot of stuff is just skyrocketed through the roof. It's insane. I was watching a mold the other day, and it ends tonight on eBay. And brand new from the company themselves, you're talking 180, somewhere in there, depending on the options and stuff you choose, 150 to 180. It's already almost at $300.
What?
Yep. Yep. And let me check it right now, see if it's gone up anymore.
Wow.
I haven't checked it this morning. I still have it up.
What are
I
you
still have
talking
it up
about?
because I'm really curious. Yeah, it's still sitting at, so it's still almost at 300, but it doesn't end until 8:30 tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what it ends at.
Oh. That's me and Jerry was talking there a while earlier before you come on, Scott. You know, I've been watching the primer prices there on Gunbroker, and there's one guy's got 60,000 rounds or 60,000 primers. He wants 12,000 some odd dollars for it.
Well, it's insane, man. Literally, I can load up some ammo right now and go sell it on the street and probably make 10 times what it cost me to make it, if not more.
Yeah.
And not even blink.
Yeah. Well, I've got friends and family that are just, like, well, will you make me ammo? No. I don't have the time. Number one, I don't have the extra time. I have just enough time to do for myself, making ammo. But, Don, you got 40 plus years reloading. I've got 18 months worth of reloading experience. But it's not even that. I'm not going to make, me personally, I'm not going to make rounds for anybody else. At least
the only time I'll let people shoot my rounds or I shoot other people's reloads is if I know who it is. Like Daniel, I get no problem him shooting mine or me shooting his.
Gotcha.
Firearms 101. He doesn't make his own ammo, but I know he's got no problem shooting my reloads. And I know he trusts what I do. So if there's an issue, he knows if anything happened to his gun, whatever, he knows I would take care of it.
Right.
There's that whole thing going on there where if something happens to someone else's gun, that's a problem for me. I'm not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna start trying to get ammo out the door. No, if I wanted to do it commercially and sell it myself and make it myself and sell it, yeah, absolutely. But there's processes and there's insurance and all the rest of it that goes with it.
I did give there was a guy, he's my mechanic, as a matter of fact, and he knew I reloaded. He come in, I don't know, a week or two ago. He said, Don, you know where to get some ammo? I said, yeah, it's out there, but you got to pay for it. He says, I really need some practice ammo because he just bought a Shield EZ. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you 100 rounds in. Because like I said, I've got a bunch of them. And I told him, I said, you put a magazine in there, you fire the first magazine, you check the first round. If you hear anything unusual, if it feels unusual, don't use it. I said, I take care of my ammo, and I know that they're good. It's good ammo. But some guns are a little bit different, as you guys know. It may not feed right. And, I run it through the gauge checker and everything. And he said, well, how much? Oh, yes, I can't charge you for it because I'm not licensed. I'm not a licensed manufacturer. I said, take it, enjoy it. I said, just be careful with it, check out the problem, make sure it works.
I reload, I don't know about you guys, but I reload all my 9mm to the tightest chamber I got.
Yep. Which is my Glock, because I got that wolf barrel on it. If it'll go in that, it'll go into. Now, the Beretta, it's about as sloppy a chamber in that as a Glock factory barrel is. But I gauge every round that comes off that press. I gauge every one of them.
Oh yeah. Hands down, no questions asked. Absolutely every single round I produce drops into a case gauge. My Lyman ammo checkers, or I got some Wilson case gauge. I check every single round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually seen me last week. He says, have you got another 100 rounds for my daughter? She's all out of ammo. I said, no. I says, I tell you what, I got a box of factory ammo. Some I just bought. I mean, they're defensive rounds. They're 110 grain hollow points. I said, I'll bring you a box in there for her. I said, they're factory. I says, they're not reloads or anything. Because she wants to carry, and she goes somewhere up around Muskegon and back, this and that. A young lady out with her. I told him, I said, take 5 of them, load them in her guns, see how they work. and just go from there. These are factory ammos. It says I bought 2 boxes. I found them on I want to say Optics Planet. They was $25 a box of 20, which was a good price for ammo. This was only about 3 months ago. And then of course you got your hazmat fee added onto it. So I give him a box of them for her. Just, if he wants to let her shoot some of the other ammo, that's up to him. But that's where it's at.
Yeah, I did some trading a couple weeks back with a buddy that I delivered to. He had some buckshot that he had an excess amount of buckshot. Well, I had an excess amount of factory 9mm, and I said, how much are you looking to, what do you want to trade? And he goes, I got 5 boxes. He goes, let's just do a 5-box swap. And I'm like, okay, that works for me. So I traded him 5 boxes of Fiocchi 124 grain ball nose ammo for what the hell did he give me? Suprema, I think it was. What the hell this is? Whoa, yeah, Suprema buckshot, because I was down to I think I had 12 rounds left. I was like, it's a good swap, good trade.
I was at a hardware store up in Oscoda here. Oh, it's been about 3 months ago, or maybe 4. And I just went in there because I heard they had ammunition, and they had 8 boxes of Fiocchi. I think it was 115 grain for like $17 a box. Yeah, and they had a bunch of 10mm and 44 Magnum. Well, they had 8 boxes of Fiocchi. I asked the guy, I said, is there a limit on it? He said, oh, you can buy all you want. I bought 4 boxes.
I remember you did a video. Didn't you do a video?
Yeah, there wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that.
All 8. I could have bought all 8 boxes.
Right.
I'm not that way. When Walmart did their thing, I could buy 3 boxes. I only wanted 1 or 2. Save some for somebody else.
Right. Yep.
And I told Dan about the 10mm. Well, he got a hold of them, and evidently they was all gone. Blazer brass, and they wasn't ridiculously priced either. $17.
That's the thing, when you can find them in stock and at a decent price, they're not gonna last long.
Yeah, I'll buy 2 or 3, 4 boxes, but for me to buy all 8 boxes, I just didn't feel right doing it. Some other guys might need it. And I don't find free anyway.
The only time I did that was end of last year. I forget when it was roughly. I think I'm gonna say probably October or somewhere in there. I checked in Walmart to see if they had any more 30-30 still, and they only had 4 boxes left of the particular grain weight that works really well in my lever gun, and I'm like, I'm just taking all 4. I like there's 4 boxes of the heavier stuff that doesn't run as well. Some other guy was standing there, and I'm like, well, you can take the other 4. I don't care, but I'm buying these 4. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We was up in Oscoda, and I stopped by the same hardware store that had the ammo. See if they, by luck, they had some more. The 22s, if nothing else. Well, they had some 350 Legend hunting loads, soft point, I think, or hollow points. I can't remember what. Because I want to get a 350 Legend. And I thought, I ought to buy a couple, but I wasn't sure the price. It was only like $38 a box for 20 rounds. I don't know what they normally sold for. I almost bought a couple boxes. I thought, you know what?
Well, honestly, if you're gonna start doing 350 Legend, just buy the dies for it and start. It's basically an elongated 9mm. It's essentially what it is.
Oh, if I got one, I would definitely eventually reload for it. But I just thought to have some factory, especially the hunting rounds,
right,
to get a couple boxes of them. But right now you can't even get the 350 Legend upper, even at Bear Creek. If you find them, they're like $400 now, where they was 100 or right around 200, I guess, here a while back. That's
I was gonna say there's a few places that have them in stock. You're gonna pay for it though. You're $300-400.
Yeah, that's the way Bear Creek was. They like Buffalo Outdoors. he got one, and I think using his promotion back last fall, it was like $190.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, but it was like $190, and I should have bought one then, but I procrastinated. Now the things are like $300-400, and I know what they sold them for before, and I don't need it bad enough to say, yeah, here's $400. I want one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you know, with all these companies that are price hiking on us, we all know what they were charging previously. So why are we going to spend that money?
Right. Yeah, I just can't see throwing an extra $200 out for a $200 item, giving them $400 for it. I'm not a rich man.
They're just taking advantage of all the new shooters and the new people and coming into firearms.
Right. Yeah. So it's ridiculous out there, right? Like now, I want to actually get a 10mm pistol, or revolver or something, but I'm just holding off on it for a while. You know, eventually I'll have one.
Yeah,
That's
I
on
was
my bucket list.
I was looking a couple of years back at a GP 100, and I found it for a stupid price, and I should have bought it. Kicking myself for not buying it.
Yeah.
And now you just can't find them, and if you can find them, they're twice the cost of what I found it for before, and it was a stupid price.
Uncle Jim said he would go bolt gunning 350 Legend, yeah, which is true. Dan had his out there last year. He had that Ruger. What was that? It was a Ruger bolt action anyway. 350 Legend.
Yeah. They're making the M77 and 350 Legend.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. You know, like I said, Buffalo had the upper for his, and it really shot well through his AR. You know, the upper, but
they shoot good. I've shot Jamie's and I've shot Willie's, but I can see where Uncle Jim's coming from on the bolt gun for it. Honestly, with as much as that round thumps, honestly, I think you'd get a better setup and better results out of a bolt gun. I would have to agree with Uncle Jim on that one.
Well, I know we got him out to, I think we ended up getting back 285 yards, and he was ringing the steel at that distance with that Ruger bolt gun.
You said 285 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't the effective range for that round 350?
Everything that Dan's seen on it and studied on it, it's only basically a 200-yard gun, according to what Dan. Okay. 150 to 200 yards because it's a straight wall case, but
gotcha.
He wanted to see just what we could get out of it. So I had my rangefinder. We went back as far as we could and we was even in the curve when he was doing it. We could have probably got a few more yards, but he was good with 280. And I think that's pushing the limits on it.
Gotcha.
Because it's basically a hunting cartridge.
Yeah.
It's not that flat shooting, but he was ringing his steel with it.
Right. Well, they opened that cartridge in what is it? The 450?
I don't know what the parent cartridge is on it.
But they opened that up for below the rifle here in Michigan. You know how?
Yeah, the lower part of Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's straight because it's a straight wall case.
Right. So
yeah, I don't know what the parent case is on it. Need to check that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wouldn't be something that I would. I personally would consider. Just for the fact that, you know, my standard 30-30, that's my deer rifle. And then if I'm going longer range, you know, my 6.5 by 55 Swede is going to be my longer range for bigger game.
Well, that season, not this past season, but the season last year, I took that little doe. She was out about 80 yards. I just used my 223 and headshot her.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah, I see it like out here. I got my 44 mag, and I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about using anything else. It works, runs fine. So, you know, because we can only use straight wall out here. We can't use anything else for hunting. So,
gotcha.
Well, north of Saginaw, what is that? 51 there goes across Saginaw there.
Yeah.
north of 51, you can use any caliber, but below that, it was usually shotgun or
Muzzle loader.
muzzle loader.
Yeah, we're shotgun, muzzle loader, and straight wall cartridge.
I mean, Jesus Christ, muzzle loader. I mean, your modern day muzzle loader, man, you can stretch that thing out to 300 yards.
Oh, easy.
Oh yeah, especially with some
You know,
ultimate muzzle loader.
Yeah.
150. Yeah, 3 pellets of 50. Yeah, 150 grains of powder. Guy at Sportsman Club I belong to, he's one of the builders of that. He get an order for it. He'd come out to the range and sight them in and stuff for him. Those things are tech drivers, man.
Oh my God, they're sick. They're. Yeah. I mean, seriously, you get
the first time I shot a muzzle loader was out at Pop's place, and Mossy Nut brought his to sight in for hunting season, and that was 2 years ago. It was cool. I mean, I watched the whole process. I mean, I knew the process, but I've never done it.
Right.
So he showed me the process, and then I worked with him, and I shot it, and it was cool. And I went out last year, this past season, muzzleloader season with Daniel, because we didn't get anything in gun season, and unfortunately didn't get anything in muzzleloader season either. But it is what it is.
Oh, muzzleloaders are fun. About 4 years ago, just because of my legs and my back, I actually quit hunting. I mean, I sold all my hunting guns. I had a 270 single shot muzzleloader, my crossbow. I just wasn't able to go hunting anymore. Well, when we moved up here, this 2 years ago, a friend of mine's got 80 acres over here. He invited me over, and he's got to build up blinds and everything. You just go in there, and they're heated and everything. I said,
turn the heat on and
I'll try it,
and take your clothes off and sit there in your shorts and your t-shirt.
Or it was find you a tree and sit down or build you an outside blind. And last year I went hunting with some of the guys over around Clare there. I went out in the woods for I was there maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And I got to hurting and stiffened up.
Yep.
I walked to the cabin or drove to the cabin. They were sitting in there. I said, what are you doing back? I said, I'm all done, guys. I can't handle it anymore.
Yep.
I packed up, headed home. I never hunted again until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I would have hunted this past year too, but I had that COVID and that pneumonia, and I didn't want to get out there in that. Even if it was a warm blind, I still didn't want to get out there because I was coughing my stupid head off. There wasn't no need going out there coughing and hacking and carrying on like that.
Right.
I can carry that.
I bet no one was expecting to get an image of Don in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts.
That's summertime. I wear my shorts in the summertime. I don't care. I wear them to work. You ain't supposed to, but they ain't said nothing so far. That's tough.
I made a joke last month with the guy I work with at work, and I was like, technically I can wear a kilt. He's like, what? I'm like, if I wanted to, I can wear a kilt here. They really can't stop me. Like, however, with the safety protocols we have in place, that's the only place they could really get me on it. I technically could be in here wearing the kilt, and I wear it traditionally. So, he's like, dude, no. Yep, could be bad.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Man, it gets hot in there too. It's, on average, it's about 70, 75 every night. It's good and toasty in there.
Nice.
Usually Sunday nights are the coldest nights because everyone's been shut off all weekend.
Right.
It doesn't start warming up till about 5:30 in the morning.
Mm.
And then the rest
must be watching television. My Wi-Fi dropped down, I think. Out here.
Yeah, your picture went a little.
Boxer brief. That was you, Uncle Jim. You what, Gary?
Michael's saying everyone should have at least one black powder gun. Yeah, I probably will pick one up here soon. It's just, funds are tight right now.
Yeah. Well, I got rid of my muzzleloader. Oh God, it was probably a year or two after my dad passed away in 2011. Um, I grew up in a hunting family. Um, you know, I, I started hunting when I was. I can remember the first time I went hunting with my dad. Um, I was knee high to a grasshopper. I've been, grew up in a hunting family, so muzzle loading, shotgun, rifle. It was just a way of life for me, growing up. For the most part, here in Michigan, I've lived in other places, but my dad's family had 1,200-acre farm up there in Mayville, there in the Thumb, and from the time I was 5 years old, I mean, I went hunting with I was out there in the blind or sitting next to a tree with my dad. I got to kill my first deer when I was 7. So, but muzzle loading for me, I wish I would have never sold mine, but I was reading in the chat, where everybody should have one, and I'm probably going to end up buying another one here soon.
I'm the same way. When I sold the 270 and my muzzle loader was the same gun. It was a CVA Optima Pro.
Gotcha.
And it's like the TC. I could take one off and put the other one on.
Yep.
And I sold that, I don't know, quite a while ago. And I wish I'd have kept it now, knowing I was going to dabble in hunting a little bit. But I'm the kind of guy, if I'm not going to use a gun or play with it, I'm not keeping it. Yep. I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of guys do, and God bless them if that's what they want. I figure I'm at the age now, I want to enjoy what I got. If I buy a new one, if I can't use it, I'm not going to keep it around, because when I'm gone, my kids don't have any interest in guns. Gotcha. My wife, if she gets remarried, she's going to let some other hairy-legged man enjoy my stuff.
Man, that's the thing, man. It's probably, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 years ago, I got rid of all my striker fire pistols. I just don't shoot them well, and it's not because I can't. It's just I'm a hammer fire guy. That's me. Going through hammer fire, revolvers and hammer fire semi-autos. That's what I like. And so I sold all my striker fires. I'm not using them. Benefit someone else, and I didn't try to profit off them. I sold them either for what I paid for them, or really cheap. I actually sold a couple really cheap too. So I wasn't trying to make money off them. I was just trying to sell them and get them in someone else's hands that can use them and benefit from them.
Well, that's what it's all about, help someone else out when you can,
Exactly.
I would be just as happy having Sally. I don't even need any of the other guns. If I got Sally, that's all I care about, really. If I had to get rid of they told me I had to get rid of all my guns tomorrow, they'd all go except Sally. That's the only, my 1911. I just love the 1911 platform.
Yeah, that's one I don't own, and I've never owned, but it is on my bucket list of pistols to have. I enjoy shooting them. I've shot many of them. I just have not gotten around to buying one. And my thing is, for me personally, if I'm going to buy one, I know what I want. I want a Les Bear Custom. I want to reach for the stars, man.
That or Wilson.
Yeah, so it's just I like what I like, with all my builds.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. A Les Bear, your starting price is about $3,500.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with that. They're great guns, dude. Absolutely great guns.
And it's justifying that big cost, with the wife, and she doesn't mind me. I've got a great collection. She doesn't mind me buying what I enjoy doing, but I also have to, justify spending that kind of money. Is it something that I'm going to just buy and say, "Oh, look, I own one," or is it something I'm going to buy and shoot?
But see, like that's the thing. I shoot everything. It doesn't matter if it's collectible or not. I shoot it.
Right.
And I don't go crazy nuts with the ones that are collectibles, for example. So most of you guys know I'm a collector. So I have a lot of 29s. I got a 27, a 28, and some various other Smiths. I also have some other collectibles. I shoot everything. It doesn't matter. They'll get at least 50 rounds from a year, at least.
Right.
And I want to make sure it's still in good working order. I clean it up, oil it, put it back in the safe. I get to handle it and go, hey, look how pretty this is, and enjoy it. They're there to be enjoyed. They're not there to sit in the shelf. They're there to be enjoyed. So
exactly.
Enjoy them.
There you go.
Don't want no safe queens, so to speak.
Well, I mean, they're a safe queen,
but you know what I mean.
Come out. That safe queen gets to go out and enjoy herself.
Yeah, exactly. There's not one firearm that I own that I don't shoot on. I don't want to say on a regular basis, but that doesn't get shot. Because if I had any of those, they wouldn't be in my safe. Because what's the point? For me,
that's it. I picked up some ammo. 2 months ago. I actually managed to find some 32 auto. I had a very rare gun that I picked up a few years ago in 32 auto. Super rare, actually. I still got to do a video on it. We'll do it here soon. But I took it out last week and I put 5 rounds through it, make sure it worked good. Runs just fine. Runs like a champ.
Nice.
Everything gets shot.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, if I don't shoot it, it's gone because I just ain't gonna keep a gun around. Not use it. That's not what they're for. And I mean, I shoot all mine. I know when Dan brought that Ronin up back, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, that 10 millimeter. I told him, I said, "You son of a gun," because he knows I've been wanting a 10 millimeter anyway, in a 1911 platform, basically. I said, "You're gonna make me want to get one of these blame things. You know that, don't you?" And I shot it, fell in love with it, and I thought, "Oh, Jesus, I'll probably have one before summer's out if I can find one at the right price."
And that's it, man. I've been wanting the Rock Island double stack 10 millimeter for the longest time, and I almost bought one last year too. But with everything going on, it's just I'm down so much money the last year and a half. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a double stack or not. 8 rounds is plenty for me. But you was talking about the Les Bear. Like I said, any gun I have is possibility of a carry weapon. Right. I would hate to spend the money for a Wilson Combat or one of them high priced like a Les Bear or whatever. Be my luck, I'm carrying this thing and actually end up having to use it in defense, and the cops take it from you.
Yeah, that would.
And who knows what they're going to do to it in the locker?
Right.
That would just break a guy's heart. I probably wouldn't use it for a carry weapon, just because of that.
Right. And right. If I got something like that, I don't think I would. Just like you're saying, I don't think I would use it as a carry gun. It would be just something that goes to the range when I go to the range and, shoot, a magazine or 2 through it and say, "Yep, that's a beautiful gun." Bring it home, clean it, look at it, beautiful. Yep. All right. Back in the safe you go for the next,
I would use it at range or something, but to use it for, a carry gun, I just, right. Because mine actually had that happen. They confiscated his gun. He finally got it back, but it was rusty and just pitted. It was.
Well, for those of you that don't know what happens, I actually had a couple buddies that used to work in the police. When they confiscate your firearm, they stick it in a bag, they stick it in a drawer, and it doesn't get touched. That's it. It just gets stuck in a bag, stuck in a drawer, and left alone. And when it gets pulled out, however long it is, 6 months, a year, whatever, down the road, it's covered in crap, rust, you name it. Especially if it's even longer than that, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They don't have no armorists sitting there polishing everything up. That's for sure.
Well, that's the way his was.
But
He
yeah,
got,
my
it
son
took
just
him
picked
over
up.
a year to get it back. Yeah, it took him over a year to get his back, and it was just demolished, really, basically junk.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
Uncle Jim's saying Miggs Rock Island 10 millimeter work great. Just need a step recall spring. Yeah, I've heard that a lot on the Rock Islands. Basically, just get a stiffer spring on there, and you're good to go. I've heard some people upgrade the ejector as well, but most people it's just a recall spring. Put a step of recall spring in there, and you're good to go. 13 pound or so, and you're good to go.
Yeah, my son just picked up a Springfield Armory RO compact in 9 millimeter, and he picked that up probably about 2 months ago, and he just brought it over, dropped it off because he's going to Tennessee for a few weeks. And I told him, I'm like, well, I'm going to take this to the range and shoot it. He goes, that's fine. I'm quite impressed with this freaking handgun. It's a nice looking piece. We'll see how well she shoots.
The range officers are nice. They shoot well, at least in the past, and the ones I have shot, they've shot really good.
Cool.
So you should have a good time with it.
Sally is a range officer.
Oh, okay. I mean, I love the way it looks, man. I mean, it feels really, and it's chambered in 9 millimeter, but it looks nice. It feels really good in hand, and my God, the trigger pull on that is just amazing.
For the price, well, I don't know what they are nowadays. I haven't looked at one for a while, but for the price you could buy them for before all this crap, you hard pressed to find a good trigger like that on the 1911.
Yeah, I mean, I think he said he paid. Now the one he bought was the display model. So I think he got $150 off. I think the original price was $1150. I think he walked out of the store for $950.
Okay, so yeah, they've gone up quite a bit. They were 750, 800.
And he did buy it at Carbala's too, so that could have been some markup also there. But
Yeah,
but hey, for his first,
you can find them back in the day for about 750 or so.
Gotcha.
Well, when I bought Sally, when they first come out with that Ruger SR 1911. Springfield come out with the RO, and I had already made up my mind I was going to buy whichever one I come across first.
Right.
Well, over at I can't remember the name of the dealer now. They're over in Westland now. I was in there and they had one, and it was $665 when I bought mine, and it had a scratch up around the ejector port. I said, well, he knocked another 50 off of it, so I got like 630 or something like that out the door. So
nice.
But yeah, they've gone up in price now, but I couldn't believe I spent that much for a gun. To be honest with you.
Well,
but I did.
Me personally, I'm a Ruger and a Smith & Wesson guy. There's nothing against any other gun manufacturer out there. It's just what I like for handguns. But with that being said, I am really considering one of two. I really like the Glock Gen 4 MOS, which is already cut for the red dot, and then Alfa Romeo 15 just did a video on the new Walther
PDP.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I can't wait.
Sexy freaking looking gun, man.
Dan just did a review a week or so ago on it too, so I'm waiting to get my hands on that.
That is a sexy looking gun.
Yeah, it is a nice guy. It is nice. And I'm like you. I want to get a gun that's got the optic cut on it, where it's recessed. Dan's got a few. I'm trying to get one off of him, but he just ain't come. Even their Ruger, that competition model that he had up here, that's a nice gun too. And I shot it well, and I would really like to get that off, but he won't part with his guns, man.
Right.
What phone were you talking about, Don? I had to walk away for a second.
The Ruger. Well, we was talking about the new Walther PDP, and telling him about that competition Ruger that Dan had up here last fall. That I really liked it because they have optics cut on them.
Yeah.
But that Walter looks like a nice. It just the PDQ is a nice gun. I've always wanted one of them, but I just never did foot the bill for it. But I might have to just look at that PDP.
Yeah.
Because it's got the optic cut on it. That's the only reason why.
Right. Exactly.
Because I want a gun that's already got. I mean, I can send the Glock or CZ in and have all that crap done, but
yeah,
I mean, throw another $250, $300 into that, plus buy the red dot. I mean, you got $1,000 gun.
Right. My Ruger Americans, I'm not doing it. I'm not sending it in and having it freaking machined. No, I'm just not. If I'm going to do that, if I'm going to take that step, I'm just going to buy another firearm that's already, has that.
Well, you can always just buy another upper too. There's a lot of the companies now are doing where you can just buy a whole nother slide that's already pre-cut.
Yeah, you can. And I've thought about that too, but you're looking at a couple $250 for that.
For me personally, I would just buy another pistol. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I'm. If I'm going to do it, that's the way I'm going to do it. It's either going to be the Glock Gen 4 or that. But I have to go and shoot that Walther before I just make that decision.
I'm sorry. If someone said something, I just threw up in my mouth.
Yeah, I just started saying, that's fit over because you coughing that Glock up.
Yeah, well, no, and look, I'm not a Glock guy, okay, but I don't have anything against Glocks either, okay. I've never been a Glock fan, but if I'm gonna buy a Glock, the only Glock that I like that fits my hand well is the Gen 4, and so if I'm going to do it, it's going to be the MOS.
I bought the Gen 4. My Glock's a Gen 4.
Okay.
I bought it probably 4 or 5 years ago. In the first year of that gun, I hated that gun. I was actually contemplating getting rid of it. I just couldn't shoot it. I couldn't do nothing with it. But then I got into shooting IDPA, and that's what I was using. And now that gun is probably one of my best, other than Sally, it's probably one of my best shooting guns.
Gotcha.
It really is.
Uncle Jim brings up a good point. They do have some plates that go in some of the rear sight cutouts. The problem there is you're going to be losing your rear sight, number one.
Exactly.
But the other problem with that too is usually because it's not cut out all the way properly into the actual slide itself, it's usually a little bit higher up, so it's higher up the bore axis.
Right.
Yeah, it is, because that's what I put on my Glock. I put a plate on it for that red dot.
Height over bore is, I want something that's as low to the bore axis as possible.
Yeah, put some suppressor sights on it. That way you got
exactly.
Got the sights you can see. Yeah, that's what I would do on the Glock if I got one that was milled for it. Put some suppressor sights on it, so you got backup sights.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we've been going for quite a while here. It's after 12 o'clock.
Yes, we have. Wow. God, dang, that went fast.
I didn't realize we'd been on here that long.
Really? It's crazy.
I can tell because I'm starting to stiffen up out here in this garage. I'm getting fidgety.
45 degrees is it's probably cold, still colder than that up there, right?
It's supposed to get up 46. The sun's gone in now. It's still cloudy again, but we're supposed to get some rain this afternoon. So we're going to shut this short, or not short, but we're going to shut this thing off. And I appreciate you guys jumping in there. Of course, I appreciate everybody out there in side chat, Texas Outlaw, Uncle Jim. I almost said Jungle Jim. Of course, watching Uncle Jim sometimes that might be about appropriate.
I guess that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, Uncle Jim's becoming one of my favorite channels. I tell you, some of the stuff he does cracks me up. But yeah, that's all the ones I can see on the screen. I can go scroll back. But Jerry Bear and Scotty, appreciate you jumping in there, and we may do this again here in a week or two. See what happens. Maybe a weekend chat or something.
Cool, Don. I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate you putting the invite out there. It was fun. Jason, it was great talking with you and doing this with the both of you.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure, Don.
All right, bud. Let's take care of you guys. Appreciate you and everybody in the side chat, and we'll see you next time. And Jerry Bear, Scotsman, take care, bud.
Later.
Look forward to with you this summer, both of you.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right, we're gone.
Later.